Hello, welcome to this edition of Monday Night Mashup. I'm Mills Hayes.
And I'm Stephen Gillette with your weekly news update. It's been a busy week here at USC. First off, Republican Party nominees Rand Paul and Donald Trump were in Columbia on Wednesday for various events, and SGTV News4 reporters Andrea Esselman and Corey Drennan were on the scene. Let's see what the candidates had to say.
But I think some of the silliness, some of the sophomoric insults from Trump, as people as the veneer thins and fades away, and people begin to say, my goodness, we're trying to elect someone who would be the leader of the free world. Do we really want someone who thinks and acts like they're still in junior high? I think once we get beyond that, what you're going to find is that some of the more serious candidates will get more time.
Rand has got 1% in the polls. The thing I'm most honored about, probably Tim is the only one I couldn't do this to, everybody that's opposed me has gone down.
Students were able to see Rand Paul speak at Russell House, and Donald Trump participated in Senator Tim Scott's town hall meeting. Carly Fiorina was also in the area filing paperwork to appear on the Republican primary ballot. To find out more about upcoming political visits by both Republican and Democratic prospects, check out p2016.org.
In other news, last week, USC's McKissick Museum held an opening reception for its new exhibit, which takes a look at the history behind the Guantanamo Bay Project. The National Project captures the history of America's presence in Cuba. USC is the only university in which students were able to visit the Guantanamo Bay Naval Base and to do oral history with its residents. Students that visited helped digitize and preserve newspapers and other historical artifacts that were found in the base library. Everything found in the exhibit will be used for scholarly work. The exhibit will remain open until early November.
This past Friday, nursing students at the university were honored with a ceremony marking the end of their time in the classroom and the beginning of their work in clinics with patients. 210 junior year students met at the Williams-Brice building for the ceremony, ushering them into the clinical portion of their training. The ceremony included the recitation of a special pledge and the lighting of a lamp. Students will be working at 4 major hospitals in the central South Carolina area. That's all for your university news this week. When we come back, South Carolina legislature is working towards loosening restrictions on medical marijuana, and Volvo is breaking history and the ground in Charleston. Don't go away.
Welcome back to Monday Night Mashup. I'm here with your local news. A South Carolina Senate panel advanced a bill legalizing medical marijuana on Thursday. The proposal was sent to a full Senate committee for suggestions to improve it. The bill currently would allow qualified patients and caregivers to have a designated amount of marijuana, and it creates a seed-to-sale tracking system to regulate ownership. South Carolina law currently allows people suffering from severe epilepsy to use a non-psychoactive oil derived from marijuana to control their seizures. The passage of this new bill would widen the spectrum of patients who could legally use marijuana for medical purposes. In other news, Volvo broke ground on first auto manufacturing plant in North America in Berkeley County. On Friday, the plant is located just north of Charleston, marking it a point of pride for all of us in South Carolina. The plant will be producing the new S60 sedan, which is still being developed in Sweden. Foundation work on the manufacturing plant is scheduled to begin in January of 2016. The first car is expected to be produced in 2018. National Drug Take-Back Day was Saturday, and organizations across the Midlands teamed up to help people get rid of old, unused, and expired prescription drugs. The event allowed people to anonymously drop off the medications, which hopefully will encourage people to refrain from abusing prescriptions. According to Trust for America's Health, South Carolina has frequently landed in the top 20 states for the most reported deadly prescription drug overdoses. Local health and safety officials hope that by providing a place for people to dispose of unwanted drugs, they can encourage greater health responsibility. That's all for your local news. If you've been deciding whether or not you should dust off those old rain boots, be sure to stick around because Miller Hyatt will have your weather update in just a moment.
I was like, excuse me, in my awkward approach, I just noticed you were running out of rum in your Coke, and I was hoping I could interest you in witty rapport, and if you game, we could kick it like you're keeping the score. You're so exotic in all of the right ways, eyes like green diamonds, skin of Milan beige, hands of black currant that matches your style great with the jacket you bought from Urban and your pretty bird chain. She said I look mixed, I said I'm dark white, she said I seem fun, I said you damn right, then she laughed and said Allegra's the name, and I've been waiting for a guy like you all day. So, hey, we don't really got another place to go, and I know you don't want to sleep alone, so take me home tonight. So I hit her with a, oh, I know we don't got a better place to be, tomorrow doesn't mean a thing to me, so take me home tonight. She's 24 from New York, says she misses the cold.
Welcome back to M&M. I'm Miller with your weekly weather update. The weather conditions today consisted of overcast skies with areas of fog and mist. The high temperature reached 78 degrees and the low this morning was 72. Make sure to bring an umbrella because it looks like rain is the general story for the rest of the week. It looks like 50% chance of scattered thunderstorms on Tuesday and a whopping 80% chance of thunderstorms on Wednesday. High temperature will remain in the mid 70s and low 80s with upper 60s to low 70s for the low temperature. We'll look in time for the weekend. Now taking a look at the national weather, it looks like the rain is plaguing a good portion of the southeast as well as some of the upper Midwest as a cold front is moving through the Midwest from Canada, bringing some cooler temperatures to that area. Temperatures will be warm for the southern portion of the country as warm low pressure systems bring more rain. You may have missed it, but last night we have a super moon appeared in the night sky for the first time in over 30 years. A supermoon appears each month because the orbit of the moon is an imperfect circle, bringing the moon closer to Earth and making it look longer in the sky. About once every 30 years, this phenomenon coincides with a total lunar eclipse, making the moon look bigger and giving it a reddish glow. Unfortunately, the cloud cover kept us from being able to see this event. However, there are plenty of pictures online, so be sure to take a look. That's all I have from the weather. Griffin Weaver will be here with your sports report when we get returned.
Let me tell you about Hi, I'm Griffin Weaver. Last Monday, one of USC's women's soccer players was named the SEC Freshman of the Week. Simone Wark from the Ontario was after the game limited to the Gamecocks to a 1-0 win over Missouri last Sunday. Wark's breakaway one-on-one shot against Missouri's keeper Kristen Rivers was not only her first collegiate goal, but it was also the only goal of the game. Wark also scored 3 shots in 23 minutes of play. With her goal, Wark became 15th player on the women's soccer team to score this season. Continuing on with women's soccer, USC's had a thrilling 2-1 win over number 4 Texas A&M last Thursday. For the majority of the game, the score was tied 1-1, but the final minute, senior forward Raina Johnson headed the ball into the net on a volley from midfielder Stevie Johnson. Johnson's goal put the Gamecocks ahead and secured the team now has 10-1 record overall, now holding the number 12 seed in the nation. Last week's men's soccer took down number 11 New Mexico State in an overtime thriller in the 98th minute of the game. Senior forward Jeffrey Torta slipped in the ball past the New Mexico's keeper to give South Carolina the golden goal and the 2-1 win. Torta played the full game and led the Gamecocks with 4 shots on goal. With this win, the Gamecocks improved to 5-2 and 1 overall record and are 2-1 in conference play. Their next game will be on Friday, October 2nd at Marshall University. Now let's talk about some Gamecock football. This past Saturday, USC beat the University of Central Florida 31-14. USC's true freshman quarterback Lorenzo Nunez threw 2 touchdowns for 184 yards and no interceptions. With 2 touchdowns and 69 yards, junior wide receiver Pharaoh Cooper also had a great game, but the key factor to USC's win over the Knights was the stellar defense. In the second half, junior linebacker TJ Holloman had a pair of interceptions that put Carolina up by 2 possessions and sealed their victory. The Gamecocks are now 2-2 overall and will take on Missouri next Saturday at Faro Field. That wraps up your USC sports report for this week. For more sports coverage, check out SGTV's own Capital City Sports Online. We'll be back with more Monday Night Mashup after this.
Well, the Pope came to the United States this week, and unfortunately this time he did not stop at USC, but I'm certain that by the end of his reign he will stop by at least once.
Oh, of course, naturally, USC. First stop, right?
I had some friends in Temple, and the streets were just insane, and all their Snapchat stories and everything. It was just, I don't know if I'd want to be there just in the fear of getting trampled.
Oh my gosh.
I imagine there was about 400,000 people in Philadelphia showing up and hear Mark Wahlberg and some other famous Philadelphians there just for that event as well. So
I didn't realize Mark Wahlberg was there. Oh my gosh.
Even threw a Go Eagles in at the end for that show.
That's all we have for you this week. Make sure to follow us on Twitter and check out our website for more coverage of university news. Also, don't forget to watch Weekend Preview on Friday to stay updated on the weekend events. Have a wonderful evening.
No, I'm not. So NBC is using the CNN poll.
Then he's still putting people in jail for what he did in high school.
Exactly.